Okay, it says we're live. Hopefully we're live, everyone. Hopefully. Sadly I can't hear anything, but that's fine. Yep, it looks like YouTube is at least saying we're live. Now the question is, does the audio come through? But beyond that, welcome everyone. Welcome to this number will be updated before the release 2.0.1. 27 plugins, brand new layout, beautiful layout. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys quickly how to grab all the updates. If you have a subset, then you'll select the ones you want. So we got a new section, new and updated, which will be updated every time I make a release, keeping you guys a quick glance at going, okay, what changed? What do I need to grab? What plugins need to get added? So on and so forth. So we got 3 new plugins and the jump title got updated. So first one was better show battery animations. Show battery animations is a command. The better show one is just an add-on to that. Or actually it's a unique command, but it does the same thing just with a modification. And the modification is it allows you to put a life status, which if you put a life status, it will allow, it will filter the enemies based on if they are alive. 0 is alive only, which is the default. 1 is dead only, and 2 is both alive and dead enemies. So if you have a specific skill you want to show on dead enemies, or a specific animation you want to show on dead enemies, this is a way to do it. Okay? Direction event switch trigger. This is the script to trigger other events. So I think we showed it in here before, where when this event gets to it, it was triggered based on this custom move route. This little bit of thing. Well, now it's an official plugin. You don't have to worry about remembering this. You go down here, there's a bunch of stuff we're not going to worry about. We're just going to go straight to the script. And instead of doing this .collision on move, you do SOL MP dest trigger parent. You have to provide this to, so that it would know what object. In this case, it will be this event, but what object is in this field right here. So you add that. If you're actually doing a custom script, you give it the event or whatever. Conditional logic. The conditional logic. So remember how we had a list here of the 2, 13, and 14, and if the event equals one of those, it will trigger. I'll show you. Let's open up this script. Good job, it popped it over here. Because the last thing I needed you guys to know, secret sauce. Yeah. Close enough. You guys can know the names and stuff. So you remember this big script where we had triggered events, and triggered events would give you an include event ID? Heading out to D&D in a few minutes. I'll rewatch your live stream tonight when I get home. Awesome! Well, I hope you have a great adventure. If you're GMing, I hope the players are nice, and if you're a player, I hope you cause a havoc to the GM. So, the conditional logic is that little bit of statement right there. So if you wanted the same thing as this quick plugin we produced last time, if you wanted the same thing, you would actually do brackets 2, 13, and 14, I believe. And you'd put this wrapped in a string, so quotes. You'd put all this into the conditional logic. So this quote right here into that conditional logic, and that would give you that. The reason why I did this is maybe you want all events, maybe you have a specific logic you want to filter the events on. So that's how that works. Trigger event switch. So instead of doing quote A true, you will now do, I guess I can kind of show you here. So let me take a screenshot of this and I'll show you guys real quick how to replicate the thing we had. It's still going to be in a script call. Awesome. Just don't use my name if the DM asks any questions. I don't need anyone to hate me who I don't know yet. So to replace what we originally had with this one, it's going to be sortl.mp dest.trigger, and then this, because we're passing through this out the field right here, this drop down field. For this case, it's an automatic event, so it's going to be this event. But if it's a player or whatever, it will change to whatever state that is. Conditional logic, it's going to be brackets 2, 13, 14. Then it's going to be that little bit of code we took. So it's going to be dot includes event ID. So now it will trigger the same time. And now trigger event switch. That's where it's going to start getting a little tricky. We can do curly braces. And then you want to do A, semicolon, true without quotes. This allows you to flip multiple switches. So if you wanted to do semicolon B, false. So now it will turn A to true, A to on, and B to off. So, Ella, I won't. LOL, he knows you anyways. He's a member. Oh, nice. So, you can flip multiple switches at one time now, which that's a good benefit. And you don't need to put directional or trigger self switch if you don't want to. In this specific case, we don't need it, but I'll run through an example of using it. So if you want a direction, it's going to be a square brackets. 0 gives you the direction the element is looking at. So whatever you pass in as this, it gives you whatever that element's looking at. 2, 4, 6, and 8 are the directional values. You just pass those in whichever direction you want. 8 is up, 6 is to the right, 4 is to the left, and 2 is down. You pass those in, and that's the value it would look for. So if you just want up and down, boom, 2, 8. I'm heading out now. Chat with you later. Chat with you later. Wish you the very best. So that's how you do directional. In this case, we're just going to stick with 0. And then if you don't want the event you're focusing on to do any self-switch changing, you leave it blank. You don't do anything. So that's all the directional with it, okay? If, for whatever reason, you're like, hey, I actually do want it to switch to self-switch, you do the same thing you did for the trigger event switch. So you can do A equals false. So now the event it triggered on, the event it looked at and found, would turn true. And then this event itself will make it false. So that's how you use it. Of course, you can do comma, B equals true, and so on and so forth to get all the functionality you want. A little bit more confusing initially, but it's a lot more powerful. You get a lot more capabilities in this one compared to the one we quickly wrote up. Okay? I'm just going to hit OK because we're going to use that bit of code anyways. And then jump to tire. The only thing jump to tire changed is I added parent to jump to tile. Reason why, there is a very specific edge case I discovered in direction or event switch trigger, which will crash your system because it doesn't know what you are looking at. So instead, I'm passing it for now. Expect both these plugins to eventually change. I'm going to create an entire move route suite in the generator so that all move route code operates the same and they behave more aligned with the other bit of code we wrote last time. And then restore event command. Should be command. No, it's commands because there's two commands here. Okay, so you might know that you can do an erase event. Okay? Very cool. You can erase an event and it can do stuff. Awesome. But what you might not know and what you might want to do in the future is restore this event. Now, traditionally to do that you'd have to leave the map, come back, and the erase event will restore. But what if you have one specific event you want to restore? Well, that's where restore event commands work. And what it will allow you to do, let's go down to plugin commands. You can restore by ID or you can restore by variable, okay? And what a restore does is basically it undoes the erase event. So if you wanted this specific event, ID 10, you have to do restore command ID. The ID would have to be 10, and if it's an erase event, it will appear again, brand new, okay? If it's not an erase event, it will not do anything. Restore by variable, same thing, except it's grabbing the number from a game variable. And you also get the script itself. So if you want to make a custom plugin utilizing this plugin, you can. It's this bit of code, and then you pass in whatever event object you want to restore. And that's that. Those are the 4 new plugins. So I guess time to show you around the generator. As you can see, well, actually, before we do that, let's make a quick comparison to the previous generator. Oh wait, I can't. The previous generator is gone because 2.0 is already out. Okay. So the previous generator, it had the library and these two things. There we go. These two things were on opposite sides. Now they're on the same. Libraries on top. These are the ones that you can select from. And the ones you've selected are on bottom. These arrows allow you to make moves. So boom, boom, so on and so forth. Okay. And you, of course, can click each one individually and move it, or double click to move it, just like before. Okay? So we're going to grab all these events. And that's that. There's detailed instructions now for all of these, including use cases on how to use them for every one of these plugins, okay? Actually, we're going to remove the obsoleted because we don't need that anymore. If you don't know, with 3.1, if you go to script now, it has a bigger script than what I could even produce window-wise, but it also allows you to type infinite lines. Finally, 16, 17, 18, and now you can scroll. So you can have 17 lines. It used to be 12, I think. And in my plugin, it's still 12 because that's the max it will show. But mine allowed you to scroll. They used to not allow you to scroll. Now you can scroll. So you don't need this plugin anymore. I leave it here in case you, for whatever reason, want to use mine over theirs. Or you want to keep the plugin you had consistent. Like you just don't want to change it up too much. So it's still there. It's only going to get updated if there's a bug or something, but how simple that plugin is. Imagine it won't have a bug. So there's that. You can hit build. Oopsie. You can hit build plugin right up here in the upper right corner. That will take you to your plugin screen. It opens, it hides the library and shows you all the plugins you have selected. This is so that you can click through, verify, yes, these are the plugins you want. And then after that, you can click view generator instructions, or you can click right up here to the name. As long as it says Soligna's plugin generator at the top, you'll be good. Click the lower gear for settings, and then type in the file name you want. As you can see, you can now have drop-down options for your file name. I think 1.2 had that as well, but you still have that. We're going to stick with Soligna. Soligna lowercase. There we go. And then it was Lugins. Okay. You can still add or remove your note plugin, and you hit download settings. It will generate it with all the code and everything. Hit save. Go to the project you're actually working on. Where is main? Date modified. Soligna's plugins, there we go. And we are looking for the main project. There we go. Source, JS, plugins, and then this one. Boom. So went to 219, so we updated it. And now we can go to our plugin manager. We don't need this one anymore, so we actually can delete that entirely. Go, whoa. Didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Go into this one. It should keep everything, yeah. It kept everything the same. It updated it all, so shows you all the new updates. Interesting. It lists the new plugin commands at the top. That makes sense because it's not going by alphabetical order. Okay, that's fine. That might change in later versions, but for right now, yes, the newer plugins will be at the top. Not the end of the world. The rest will be in alphabetical order. Which, I actually like that, because you most likely will know how all these work, imagining that you've used them before. These new ones, you most likely won't know, and it'd be much better to scroll at the top to access the new ones than to scroll all the way to the bottom to access them. So, yep, that works. That's fine. All your plugins parameters are still here, and everything should be good to go. So that's the plugin generator. That's soon to be 2.01. Behind the scenes, secret. I don't change the generator version until the very end. At which time I'll change it, I'll update it, and I'll push it out. Which we'll most likely do tonight for 2.1 and the one updated plugin and the 4 other plugins. So, yep. Any questions, concerns, issues, desires? If you ever want to go back to the library, of course, you just click back to the library. If you have a plugin that has a playable demo, you always can click this to view it. This is a side scroll bar. So if you don't want to scroll up and down this way, you can go, hey, I want to see what the commands are, and it will take you right to the command center. And so on and so forth. It will take you to core functionality, or if you want to go right back to the top, intro, so on and so forth. So that's that. Let's play test, see what we had. Because it's been a while since I've played this game. See how much I broke it. Okay. I opened up the console log over here just on the off chance something does break. All of them shouldn't, but just an off chance. There we go. So it's triggering because that means the direction event switch trigger is working. So boom, and we got that working. Now I do notice that my icons aren't showing up, so that's problematic. Why is that not showing up? End of every event. Okay, that's fine. And end of a reward second. Okay, both of those are fine. Turn the player thrower on. Okay. Ooh. Interesting. LOC. It looks like it got like wiped or something. So I'm looking for gen images for actors. No, it's still here. Oh, no. I know what it is. Here's a great example on why you might want to keep the obsolete code around. These used to be the old script commands. Guys. So we need to go back. We're going to clear this. Go back to this. We're going to add the script command back in. Go here. Oh, fun feature. Remember what you named everything in your settings. So if you have one game project and you only want one of my files and you're planning not to change the name, you can literally select the name, hit build download settings, and it will remember that name for as long as your browser lets it. Let's download that, save it, and we want to save it over this one. Yes. Clear. Let's refresh the plugin. Boom, hit OK. Now we can see it, and that's what we needed. Because we need to grab all this code, and we need to do this for every script command. This is going to be fun. Because all these codes now can actually go into a proper script command. Yay, proper script. Oh, I hate that. Ugh, gross. Sure. Oh, I hate that. I guess that's one reason why you might want to use mine, is if you don't want blah for your scripts all over the place, but yeah, we'll use the proper way. Copy, new script blah. Ooh, not a fan. I am definitely not a fan of this. Because all this is requiring more scrolling. So, to give you guys some insight, let's find let's go to this one. There we go. So this obsolete better script command, is that problematic? I bet that's problematic. Yeah, that's problematic, but not the end of the world. So that better script command? I guess it is. If you're up there, you can, not the end of the world. Better script command. Let me get back to this. The better script command plugin. It may come back into service if and only if I can access this object, so the window itself, because this has more lines than mine. So if I was to make it a proper event command again, it would be because I can get to this object and have 16 lines high. So script command is done. Because if you go here, you see how it's kind of compact. I don't like this. I don't even know if it's 12 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no, it's not even 9 lines. So if I can get the other one, then we'll go back to that and use that instead. But for now, we'll do this. It'll make the code look bloated as all get up, but as long as I can remember what all these do, there we go. The rest are going to work perfectly fine. There's none there, so we're good there. Now we're looking for script command. Is there one here? Yes, there is. Let me copy you. New script command, paste. It makes me cry a little inside how big this could get, but it is how they implemented it. Okay. Copy, 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 copy. Cancel, cancel. New script command, paste. Boom. And we don't need this one anymore. Yep. Apply OK. Go here. Copy. New script command, paste. I guess it's better than us having to put a billion script commands, but personally I like the compact version because there's ways you can so it only shows you the first 16 characters, so if you have a compact version you could put something like generate character code, and with these two symbols it won't be read in game, but in the system it would actually show you that, so it makes it easier to read to tell what's going on. But okay, hit apply. I think that's all the script commands we had. That didn't have any. These don't have any, right? No. And then the drawers didn't have any, right? Nope, good. Okay, last place to look. Common events. We're just looking for script commands. Okay. That's a script, but not a script command, so we're good there. Again, not a script command, so we're good there. Not a script command. And we got a script command, okay. I guess the other good thing, is you don't have to open it to check your code. You can just be like, oh, this is how this is working. So it has its pluses, it has its minuses. Okay. This was removing characters, right? Yeah. Okay, so everything should be good. Let's go back, and because we don't need the script command anymore, let's remove that. Go to build. Again, it remembers your settings, so that's nice. Hit download settings. Hit save. Hit that. Save over. And done. Refresh this. Hit apply. And the game should be functional now. There we go. Check to make sure the logs work. Hey, look, everyone appeared, and we get triggered. Triggered. Trigger. Everything's getting triggered. Okay, and let's grab you. There you go. You don't trigger on my shit. Come at me. I said come at me. No. Well, leveling up works. There you go. So awesome. We got that. Cool. So I think what we were working on before, let me go here so you guys know what to look at. What we were working on before is I wanted it where you could select the members appropriately. But it wasn't working nice with the unique character selector we were trying to do. So I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to actually make a prompt. So I actually don't know which one's going to trigger first. I guess we can always do this and see. Waiting for response. Boom, boom. Response received. Okay. So we always could do this. Okay, so it looks like it didn't wait. So that ran, and that ran. And since this is the beginning, and we only really want your player to select at the beginning, we'll do it all in here then. So add comments so we don't forget what we're doing. Character, select first character, select menu. Okay, hit apply, so we save that. Let's fix up our character. Actually, we don't have to fix up our character. We can actually go none. So this is our player now. And then how do we want to do this? I have to think about this because we're going to want to move about. So let's go to choice location. Do I have scripts for this yet? Actually, why am I doing that? I can just click scripts, yes. So, choice set and choice reset. I thought I had a temporary one. I guess temporary is a unique methodology. If I remember right. Yeah, temporary, all I do is I set a flag to make it temporary. So we don't need to make it temporary because we're be changing anyways. Okay, cool. So we need to create a script. But that's going to set it. So I guess we need a variable to keep track on which character is selected. And we need a choice window that we can kind of move around accordingly. So let's let's do a couple of things here. First things first, we need some variables. We're going to need a... Do we need a selected actor? I think we need at least a selected index, but not necessarily an actor. So, first character selector index. I can't see that until I click on it, but I can at least scroll to the right and be like, oh, it's an index. Cool. And it's going to start out 0, and then we want a loop. Well, we're going to need a break loop, but we want a loop first. And we don't want 2 loops. We need a conditional branch where when selected character is -1, that means we've selected it and it's ready to break out the loop. Add a comment. Character was selected, ready to break out of loop. Okay. So now, if the variable is -1, we know that the character has been selected and we can break out safely. Otherwise, we're going to have to do some fancy script work because we're going to need to sorl.mp choice location .set xy. You know what? I don't think we have to do this. I'm going to do it, but I don't think we have to because I think I allow you to put JavaScript in X and Y in the plugin command. Let's verify that real quick. Plugin command, mplugin, we don't need to find, we just need to go down here and find, where is it? It's set choice, yeah. I allow you to put JavaScript here. We're not going to do that because there would actually be more code because we'd have to store a lot of things and actually use it. Instead, we'll be smart, not wasteful, and instead we'll go something like, so if the index is 0, we need character selectable equals, and then I guess x, y in the index. So put a comment above here, or actually comment below here. so that we can do up arrow. It's going to be a list of lists. Yeah, a list of lists. First is going to be the index, actor index, then events X and events Y. So we can get that, and then this will be selected character equals selectable brackets. What game variable are we using? 3. So it's going to be $ game variables dot value of 3. So now that will give us the single list here. Okay. To get the actors X, it's going to be selectable character 2 because it starts at 0. So 0, 1, 2. Actually, X is 1. There you go. And to get the Y, 2. Now we need to do offset and all that, but we'll worry about that later. So this will set the location if we had this filled up correctly. So let's just imagine we have just a proof of concept. Let's go 30 by 30. Yeah, 30 by 60. So it will grab the actor index 0, which is nothing, and it will put the event at 30, 30. Perfect. Then we make the choice call. I don't care if it's a window or not. I don't care what the position is because that will be disallowed. So we can do previous, select, and whoop, bye bye Steam. Steam, die. Thank you. And next. So it will give us the option to go back, go to select that one, or go to next. If we select it, we're gonna set the game variable number 3 to -1. Okay. So these are gonna be fun ones to write. I don't know if we're gonna be able. I guess we could. I don't know if character selectables are going to be callable from this point, but we can try. So let's do. Oh, dang it. Character selectables. We need a console log. So that should print out that, and then we just need to make that -1 as well. So that should, in theory, print this out and then return -1. Okay. And we'll do the same here just to test it out. We'll hit apply, hit OK, and now any of our choices should, in theory, exit us through the for loop. Okay. So the for loop didn't trigger apparently. We set it. It's on auto run. We set it. If not, we don't break. And we call this. I guess one way to test to see if this is actually looping is we'll have him say, "Hey, you're in a loop." Question mark? Are you sure you want to be in this loop? We don't think so. Okay. But I don't see the choice box appearing anywhere. That's the wrong object. I don't see this choice box appearing. Let's shove it here real quick before we loop through. This should be running. There shouldn't be any errors. Let's see. Okay, so it does appear. It does appear. That's good. But it doesn't. It appears, but it doesn't seem to be doing. It doesn't seem to be setting it. So let's see. Maybe I'm calling it wrong. I don't think I am. Can I control off here? No, I can't. Okay, we're looking for 9 between accent manager and delay switch variables. Accent manager, cool. There you go. Script for the yep. Call this. I'm pretty certain that's what I'm calling. Yep, and I pass in a 1 and a 2. It must be numbers, which they will be. Huh, interesting. Okay, let's try 300 by 300. So even though we call it, because it's not, well, we need to delete this bit. So let's also do brackets V3. I want to say that's how you do it. Let me verify that. Capital V, yep, cool. So it should say 0 at the very beginning. Okay. Interesting. It's just not showing your choice at all. Okay. Let's comment out this bit. So, boom. Boom. So that's all commented out. Let's, instead of running anything, let's just see if it calls the script now. Okay, so that's good. At least the choice window isn't broken. That's a good sign. Now, before this, let's go to plugin commands, this one, and go to set, and instead of 0, 0, we'll have it return 30 and return 30. Actually, we'll do 60. Hit OK, hit apply, hit OK. I might have to check to see how that choice window is showing, but I'm pretty sure that's the bit of code. Okay, so that works. So now, if I replace this guy with a script call, And we'll do, instead of 36, 60, 30, we'll do that. And actually we'll do 1200, so it's kind of in the middle. Okay. So now, it should set it to the original, but it should change it to be more in the middle. Hit OK. No, it just doesn't show it up. Okay. I wonder if this actually needs to be JavaScript. If that is, that's an error on my part. So let's, instead of doing that, let's make this JavaScript. So that'd be return 60 and return 120. 160, sure. I'm pretty sure the test script tested this. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I misread something. Okay, so it needed to be JavaScript. So this description is incorrect. The test ran correctly, but the actual file itself was incorrect. Let me open up over here. Give me one quick second, guys. I just want to make sure that gets fixed before it gets sent out. And Notepad is over here, so let me move that. Choice. Yep, I do not parse it. I literally passed JavaScript, so that needs to be fixed before. Oopsie. That needs to get fixed before it gets sent out. So one quick second, guys. JavaScript, script command X and Y being JavaScript. I don't like that. Anyone here who wants to comment on this? If not, I'll worry about it myself. I think it should be numbers, because you're going to put in, it is already in a script. So these should actually have evals on them. So I'm going to fix that properly instead of doing it half-assed. Right now that works. But it needs choice box. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. I just need to grab the other one. Yep, that's the issue. Is this does the eval here. So weird how I have these in two totally different locations. But, yep, that's the issue. Is this bit of code should really be moved up and out. But it can't all be moved up and out. What needs to be moved up and out is the actual thing here. This bit of code should be moved up and out. and it should be replaced with that bit of code. Okay. Okay, fine. That works. We can do that. And I actually wanted to change the eval functionality anyway, so that works. So for right now, I guess we can test with this real quick, because we can, if these console logs work, then we can do the other way. Nope, it doesn't work. Dang it, and that's what I expected. I knew something like that was going to happen. Okay, so I guess we write the manual case. So we're going to have to open up this. We can uncomment these parts out. And instead of 300, we're going to have to do some fancy JavaScript parsing. It's going to be return space plus toString, yeah, plus 300 dot toString plus semicolon, and that will fix that issue. I don't like it, you shouldn't like it, but it works, and that's the main thing. So there's your X, there's your Y. It should in theory work. Hit OK, delete this. So yeah, that script needs to get fixed, because that should be numbers, because you're already in a script code. You shouldn't be evaluating evaluation. Ew. Unexpected token. Ooh. What logic did I write wrong? I'm almost certain you can do that. Maybe it all has to be in one line. Maybe it doesn't like that it's not in one line. Or maybe I need to put brackets around it. I don't know. I've never done this before, because again, you shouldn't have to. But I understand why I did it otherwise, because I was saving space when it was just plugin commands. But now that I show you the code, it's not just code anymore. Nope, okay. How about if I put brackets around it? Do you like it if I put brackets around it? So that you evaluate the entire evaluation and then go to the next one? No, it just up and hates me. Why you up and hate me? Okay, so if I make it all just a string right now, because we know this is true. If I do 300, and then the next one, do 300, this should work. Return 300. Actually, I think it's the semicolon. No, because it's evaluating somewhere else. So that should be fine. Hey, okay, so that's fine. Is it not toString? Oh no, it's parse int, isn't it? Isn't it? It's parse int. int. Yeah, that looks more correct, I feel. Yep, that was it. It's parsing, not. This is the downside to writing multiple languages, is can't remember any of my languages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Paste. Boom. Boom. Copy, paste, delete. So now we can place it 300 by 300. Yep, cool. And we're gonna do this anyways, but since we already have it written up, we can move that down there so that the two things will show up at the same time. Play test that real quick to prove it to us. Hit launch. Look at that, beautiful. Okay. Now, the next part is, actually we should prove that the loop stops as well. Yep, cool. So that can go away and that can go away. So now the problem becomes we need to iterate across this guy. Not the end of the world. I know how we can do it. So this specific case, where is it? We can do subtract 1 from this. So in this specific case, this needs to be actually -2, because that's the -2 that's not going to occur. Because this could be at 0, we -1, yep, cool. Then on this case, we add 1. So that's going to increment us left and right through the list. Now, in here, we might have to do some fancy footwork here. So first things first is we want to grab set location and replace this with that, and replace this with that. There we go. Okay. So now the next step is we need to get this variable before it gets used. If this variable equals -1, then we need to get the last. Hey, Wrath of Wood, how are you doing? You missed like the entire preview of the plugin generator and the new plugins and stuff. And you missed me finding out that my script was all broken. But I'll fix that up before the release, which should be in the next 30 minutes or so. Busy day. Super busy day. Time to be comatose for a bit. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. So we can open this up and then we do game variables dot set value 3, and we want to set it to the length -1 of selectable. So selectable dot length -1, and this is a lot of lines, so we're gonna break these into sections. So right now I'm just coding it up. You know how before we had the character select, and we were going to have it where you move your selector on top of the characters. Now instead we'll actually have it where the character select will just follow the actor around. No, it is good. It means I'm chilling. That's good. Chilling is a great thing. I can't wait to be doing that. Most likely 7:30 or so I'll release 2.1 and all the 3 new plugins and the 1 updated plugin, and I will be starting to chill. Let's see. So if it's -1, move it to the end. Else if. Now, if it is equal to character selectable dot length, if it's equal to, then we need to do something totally different. I hate that they didn't add tab. It'd be so nice if they added tab to their script object. I can't do that in mine, so I can't update mine to do that. So if it is that way, then we set it to 0. Boom. So now it will loop through character selectable, and if it goes past the character selectable, so in this case we only have 1. I really don't like how this is going to look in the future, but hey. Okay, so in this case we only have 1. So if you -1, you get -1. If it's -1, we take the length, which is 1, -1 gives us 0, which brings us back here. If it's greater than, so if you go here and hit next, you'll get 2, right? No, you'll get 1 because you're at 0. If 1 equals 1, then set it back to 0. So boom, that works. That's our preset, so boom. Let's test this out real quick. We'll create 3 options, 3 different states. I need to put commas. 2, and this will be 300 and 300. Actually, we'll put 60-60. Okay, so it will be wide, tall, then square. And we can navigate through that. Okay, hit OK, hit OK, hit OK. I have a day to finish and deploy my game. Well, I recommend not using my plugin generator today to update your plugins if you're using any of mine. So it's at 0, we go next. It's at 1, we go next. It's at 2, we go next. It's at 0. This isn't changing. That's problematic. Go previous, previous, select, and we're good. So there's a problem. Selected character seemed to have not been changing. The variable was changing, but for whatever reason, the selectable character wasn't. Interesting. Well, when in doubt, do console.log. We'll do 2 things. We're going to log what is the variable at this point in the script, and we're going to log with that variable at this point in the script what was the selected character. I wonder if it doesn't update the select value unless it has a switch. That would suck. Not the end of the world, we just manage it inside the plugin, inside the script call itself, but okay. So 0 at 30, that's fine. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. 0 at 30. Oh no, that's fine. Yep, 1 at 6:30. Oh no, it is moving. It is moving. Look. See? I can't click anymore. It was just not moving greatly. But it is moving around. So everything's working. Woo! Close call. I was about to say, this doesn't make sense. Everything's running. Okay. So now we need to start putting some data to points and gathering it. Luckily, we only got 3 points. ID 5. Why does... Oh, because I wasn't looking at the very top. Okay, ID 5, ID 6, and ID 7. Right? Yeah. So 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, and 7. Everything is good. I'm in my builds. I wouldn't add anything major this close to it, definitely. Changing font made a lot of difference. Okay, nice. When you get done, if you're on you're on my Discord, right? No, you're not. Click the link. Get out of... Oh, no, yes, you are. You're just not on Discord right now. Never mind. When you're done, you should put it in one of the channels, some channel on my Discord. I'll play it. I'll play it. If you want, I'll play it on stream. Because I think I believe you're using some of my plugins, so it'd be nice to show them off. Okay, so that's that. Now we need to get the real X, I think. Do we want the real X? I want to say it's the real X. We'll find out. This is my first project that relies on plugins. I usually just do art. Well, I'm glad you're expanding. Okay. I want to do game map event. Let's go 5. And then let's do screen X. Yep, okay, so we want that. Cool. So this will be that. And this will be Y. And we basically copy paste these for all of these. This becomes 6, 7, and this becomes 6 and 7 too. So now the choice box should appear somewhere on the event. Oopsie, I don't want to open up that. I use the self switch on. Awesome. We talked about that. There's an updated one. If you ever plan to do something like that again, it's called, oops, not my plugin generator, direction event switch trigger. I'll quickly show you what that looks like. Do we have the screenshot up? Yeah. So this was what the old one used to be. The new one now does this. So this bit of code to get to the function, you pass this, which generally will be whatever you put in the move route, but if you're using a custom script, you can change that to be whatever object, so player or whatever. Then you pass it let me drag down here to, actually let me just click scripts. You pass it a conditional logic, so you remember when we coded it, we added this bit of code. Instead of you having to go in and code that every time, or you passing this array in, you can actually change how the logic works. So in this case, it's 2, 13, 14. If that list is if this list includes the event ID that was found, then you pass in the switch statement you want, and now you can have multiple ones at the same time. So you could do B false, and now you don't have to have 2, you have 1, and it will flip both of those at the same time. You also can do directions. So 0 would be the direction that object's looking at, but if you want it to like hit all the directions, you can just do that, and now it will check up, well, 2 is down, 4 is left, 6 is right, and 8 is up, and it will check all of those directions each time. If you want it to check, let's say, up and down, you can do 2 and 8. Do you want it up, down, in whichever direction it's facing, 0, 2, and 8, so on and so forth. We'll just stick with 0 for now. That's the default as well, is to whatever direction you're facing, so you don't actually have to provide that. And if you want it to flip a switch on the actual thing that's moving, you can do b.true. And now you can have 2 different switches. You also can have it where you can flip multiple ones at the same time here as well. So B is true, A is false, and so on and so forth. Does it target a list? Does it target a list or range of IDs? So you can do both. The benefit is if you wanted to target a range, you can code it up where it does a range. If you want it where I don't care what event it is, I want you to hit every, you just do that. And now any event it hits, it will flip that self switch to A to true. So it's a bit of code. I want to say I provided tips. Yeah, I provided a tip on how to do the original way. If you want, I can show you how to do a range. I'd have to look it up, but I'm sure there's a way to provide between, well, actually no, it wouldn't be that hard because it would just be your min value is greater than that, and your max value is less than event ID. And that would give you the anyone in between. So if you want all events between 5 and 10, and you, for whatever reason, don't want to provide a list, you can just do that and it will do that. Or let's say you want any event with any event that's erased. I think it's underscore. Let's say for whatever reason you want any event that's erased to occur. So now if this event it came up to an event that's erased and it was facing it, you would turn self switch A to true, and so on and so forth. I want to experiment on this. Let's experiment. You triggered my curiosity because this will do that. I want to say erase, right? I have to start it up to verify. I want to say event underscore erase is a value. I want to say it's either true or false. Erased events are ghost events, and I now have a plugin that lets you dynamically restore erase events. So if you created an erase event and you were like, I want something to unerase it, the restore event commands will unerase that event, which makes me curious, like a fox, on this does not need the obsolete category. Oh no, that's not that. There we go. That makes me curious on the event command. I wonder if 0, I want to say 0 is this event. No, I provide the event. That's fine, whatever. So I want to see if I can make an event that disappears at the initial, and when this event finds it, it will make it appear. So A equals true. If the event was erased, yes. Hit OK. So let's go in here and fine. This is an action. I don't want it to be an action. I don't want to. I really wish there was a way to not necessarily delete, Oh, yes, there is. I can go C. Boom. B, C, A. Yep. New page. It will be an auto run, and it will automatically erase the event. Not the greatest, but hey. Auto run. Okay. So now it will auto run, and it will only make this. Yeah, fine. Make that true or say trigger. We'll know it appeared. Okay. And then let's delete, paste, paste, paste. Let's see if that works how I think it will. It'd be cool if it did. So all the events should be gone. Yep. Okay. So now when this thing faces that event, oh, it won't face it because it's not a real event. Yeah, it's not a real event, so. But it should still be checking it. If this is true, let's do directions 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? So now if it even gets near the event, it should trigger. Interesting. I noticed something. If you hoard enter during the playtest, it speeds up the game. Oh yeah, you're right. That's cool. Okay. I don't know why it's not triggering it. Or maybe it is and it's not doing anything because it's still erased. I need to unerase the event. I'm a dum-dum. I did all that and I forgot the key aspect of, hey, you need to unerase the event for it to still be optional, workable. So, restore event by ID. This event is 14. There we go. Now, I don't know if it's going to execute that. I imagine it's not. I imagine that's going to be the hold up. It's not going to execute it because it's not an actual event. But if it does, that'll be a cool side effect. But I imagine it won't because it's not an event. I have to look up why it does that because that might be a quick way to make a quick runner. Nope, okay. It's not doing it. I'm sure it's flipping the switch to A. I can actually check that. Game self switches underscore data. 11's A and 7 and 11 are A. Nope, it's not. It's actually not even triggering that. Interesting. What if I, instead of checking to see if it's true, what if I just go, hey, if this returns true, just do it. Nope. Oh my gosh, it's all over the place. Because it goes to any event and it will return A on. Okay. But it's not doing it anymore for those. That sucks. And I'm locked up. Why am I locked up? Because it's auto run A. Okay, we need a... Okay. You need to face the event. I'm certain this will work because we saw one of them. And the only reason we could see one is if it worked. So... yeah. See, it is triggering them. It's triggering the ones that it stops at. Triggered. Okay. So... and because it's not stopping there anymore, it's not triggering them. Interesting. Let's have it wait 15 milliseconds. That's what it should be doing. I don't know why it's not triggering them as it passes. Of course, this is a weird case because it's also the event itself is invisible or erased. See, so it triggers that one, which that makes sense. So both of those are triggered. But if I accept it, and okay, cool. So it's coming back here. It's going to turn in a random direction. It turned that way. Okay. So as long as it's not green-haired dude, it should be... yeah, so that should have triggered it. That should be triggered. I have no clue. Of course, this is a very weird case. You're in this specific case I was testing, I'm asking, hey, if the event is invisible or you've erased it, try to trigger it again. Which you would never do. You'd never do that. That doesn't help. But it can be done. Or it can't be done. Don't do it. Bad. Let's see the tips, because the tip has the bit of code I need. Whoop. Yep, come on. Copy. Thank you. Paste. So this will do the normal thing, and I want to say it's going to be 2, 12, and 14 now. Because I erased an event. Don't need the wait 15. And we're going to delete the erase. Chat is disconnected. Am I streaming still? And it says excellent condition. It says the chat got disconnected though. Ouija board game plugin to communicate to ghost events. I mean, I could do it. The thing is, so it's not communicating with ghost events that's the problem. The problem is I'm asking it to execute. I'm asking it to execute this bit of code prior to erasing it. A way to do this otherwise is you could have it where the other guy turns a switch on and it hits the event in front of it and then it does it. It can be done. It just, I would need somebody to really tell me that this is a core feature in their game for me to go, okay, this is how you're going to do it. Because basically, even then it won't work. Well, yes it will. So, to do it, you need a self switch here, so copy paste. Self switch here. And you need some way to get the ghost event, which it can be done because you can detect the event exists at XY. I'm pretty certain. I'd have to check the code, but I'm certain you can get check to see if the event exists at XY. And if it does, you store that ghost event's ID into the variable, then restore it. When it restores, it will automatically have that switch already on A, and it will do it. Add, await, or parallel. No, so the issue isn't that it's not executing because it's having some issues with that. The issue is because the event's erased, it's not even checking to see what page to execute. It's literally going, oh, time to check to see if I can execute. Nope, this page is erased. Jump out quickly. It's not even going, is this page a executable page to even begin executing. It's going, I know this event is erased. Okay. Erased. I know this event's erased, and because of that, I'm not even going to try to execute it. It's done. It's dead to me. So, that's the issue. What you need is some way to restore that event external to that event. You can make ghost events, flickery events. I'll show you how to do that real quick. You can make ghost events. So delete, paste, delete, paste. So let's make a ghost event real quick. So I don't like that. The dragon door of the east. So to make a ghost event real quick, you do, where is it? Page 2, erase event. So that's going to erase the event. But if you erase an event, it will still actively run. So you can do erase event, wait 60 seconds, and then call plugin store by ID 13. So now every 60 seconds it will restore the event and it will run that indefinitely. And I want to say auto run will work, but we'll try that out. And why not wait another 60 seconds so that we can really see that it's actually disappearing and reappearing. Because erase event will still execute, so it's gone, it's back. It's gone, it's back. I can't move because it's an auto run, but if you wanted a event to disappear and reappear, that's how you would do it. If you wanted it with an erase event. I don't know if that's the best way you'd want it to do it, but if you wanted to, that's how you do it. And the reason why it's doing that is it only checks to run this command if the event's already erased. The event's not already erased when it starts, so it goes, okay, I can run all of this. It starts running it, it hits the event, erase event, goes, okay, run that, it erases the event, the map refreshes, the event disappears. It waits 60 seconds, it runs my restore event command, it restores the event, it waits 60 seconds, and then it repeats because the event is not erased again. It's been restored. So, cool little trick. I don't know if anyone's going to use it, but neat little trick I found. What were we doing before all of this? Oh yeah, we were making this section. That's weird to me, but it works. It is weird. So, you have to remember, when you do an erase event, if I was to do an erase event up here, okay? What that's actually doing is it's going into this event's parameters and setting an erased flag. So it's, okay, so two different things are operating at the same time here. Erase event, okay? Before anything, let's go with this example. before anything, it calls this event, event ID 11, to run, okay? The first thing it's going to check is this event erased? Because it hasn't been erased yet, it goes, no it hasn't, you're okay to run all the content in this page. And the game goes, awesome, let's start running it. Yes, it has to run the same whole page. So if you want it to actually do what I would imagine you'd imagine an erase event would do, you'd want an erase event and exit event processing. So this would erase the event and exit the execution. But erase event doesn't automatically call this exit event processing. So instead, it will continue processing the event. So it turns the flag on. As soon as it turns the flag on, because the game map is updating the map constantly, it goes, hey, there's this new erased event. Make the icon for that event invisible because it's erased. And it goes, okay, made the icon event erased, run to the next command. Next command, do that. Next command, do that. So on and so forth. And once it gets to the very end, there's an invisible exit event processing at the very end here. Once it gets to this, it exits the event processing, and it goes, oh, you're on an auto run, or you've been triggered again, or whatever, but you're erased. So I don't care. It skips over. You understand now? Makes sense? I think it makes sense. It's weird. I will agree. It's weird. It was one of the side effects when I was playing around with the restore. I was like, can I restore an event I erased? And when I did that, I was like, oh yes, I can. That's cool. No, I don't want that one. I want... I don't think I check. No, I do. So, I should actually add that in the description here. If you give me 0 as a thing, I will return the event provided. The current event running. Yeah, it's weird I didn't put that in. I need to add that too. So what I'm saying is you can do plugin command, plugins. I'm shocked I didn't do this because generally I do it. Oh no, I do. 0 means this event. Okay. So yeah, you can return, if you give me 0, it will do whatever event is executing this. And do I, nope, that's the wrong one. Event by variable, and the same thing but with variables. 0 means this event, yep. What if can I do none? I'm sure that would break it, but if you're stupid enough to call by event and then call by variable and then go none, be your guess. Be my guess. I use erase events instead of if I wanted to enter triggers when returning to maps. Yes, so that's the general way of how an erase event restores itself. This one allows you to restore it without. So let's say for example you have it where when the player hits a switch and a treasure chest appears. Instead of having it be a self switch for whatever reason, let's say you're running low on self switches for that treasure chest, you could actually start the treasure chest erased, or start the treasure chest with an auto run that erases the event. There's your initial state. And then when it's time to bring that event back, when they flip the switch or whatever, let's say it's event 34, you can restore that event, and because it's restored, it will call It will call the auto run again? I don't know. Yeah, it would call the auto run again. So I don't know. I don't know if you could use an erase event as a self switch other than in your case you described there. I'm sure you could do something. I just wanted it so that if I erased an event, I could restore the event. So if I wanted to quickly clear out an event or something, I don't have to worry about transferring on and off map to restore them. Or maybe you want, what's an example? Let's say you have some puzzle where you're erasing doors and you have to get through it, and you're scared the player might lock themselves in. Instead of transferring them off the map to transfer them back on to reset all the self events, you could just move their location back to wherever they're safe and then restore events. But you'd still have to move the events. I guess you could restore the doors, and that would lock them back in again. I don't know. I just thought it was a nice little feature. It took me 10 seconds to code up. So, it actually took me a little longer than 10 seconds, but that's not the point. Okay, so we got this all working, I think. However, I think it wasn't properly showing the choices where I wanted them. So why is it down here? If I go to previous, that's fine. It's almost like it's going by 300 instead of the actual value. Can we have you print out the value? I could. It'd be more difficult though. I'm not going to do that. I guess we can just console log character choice. Hit apply, hit OK. So 300 by 12, so that's here, which that's weird because that's event 5, and event 5 is here. No, event 5 is here. This is event 4. It's actor 5, not event 5. Okay, 4, 8, 9. That's why it's all weird and all over the place. 4, 8, 5. 4, 8. I think it's 9, not 5. 4, 8, and 9. So now it should move the choice boxes in the correct location. Now we just do some offset. I'm predicting it's going to be like 48 pixels by 32 or something like that last time I played around with event choice. I think I logged it somewhere in the plugin itself. So that one's correct. And if we go next, and we go next, awesome! All of them are correct. And we go next. We go previous, 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 previous. Awesome! So now we can move the choice box around to the appropriate location that we want. That's why I did choice eval. Because you can't get the choice box until it appears. Okay. Yep, I just need to fix the language. because it's not pixels, it's going to be JavaScript. It's going to have to be JavaScript evaluator that returns a pixel value. Now the question is, did I put tips? No. So in the play demo, there are tips. I want to say it's like off by 32% here and up by 48 if you want it right beside. So plus 32 minus 38. I'm not going to worry about that. It's 7 o'clock. I'm going to clean up the 2 bits of script code that I have. Actually, 1 bit of script code because the rack, or the, sorry, not the rack, the restore event command bit of code works fabulous. I just didn't realize where I put the hint on 0 is a magic number. The script might need to include that. No, the script returns an event, so that's fine. So yeah, 0 is just a magic number. That's all fine. I need to fix the language in choice location, specifically around the script. Because the script should say, instead of putting XY, it should be the JavaScript equivalent to XY. So it should be return the number of pixels. Or really, JavaScript that returns a integer. I'm paying more attention to event IDs. They change if you copy and paste. So they don't. They change based on if the event number is not a variable. So if I was to delete this completely and paste it, it will be 13. But if I was to, let's say, move 2 around, it'd be 2. If I was to delete 2 completely, because 2 is now gone, and paste it, it will still be 2. So it takes the lowest number of variable unless you do a move. If you do a move, then it keeps that event ID. So this becomes 13 now. That's how that logic works in the engine. It's primarily so that it can kind of do garbage collection and clean it up if you have a bunch of empty ones. Because the last thing you want is this event to be 999. And in the actual data storage, you have 999 empty values. Most computer, I don't know how JavaScript would interpret that. I would imagine most systems would most likely ignore, but yep, that's how that works. I'm going to fix up some things here. This is going to have to remain the same. Eventually I'll have a better evaluator and you won't have to write return, but that's not here nor now. So yeah. And I will add tips to choice location. So tips to choice location, fix some of the help fire up. Update the version number will be version 2.0.3. It'll move up to new and updated. And I'll put that out most likely tonight. Until next time though, I will catch you later. Bye bye.